Welcome to the Love Clarity Podcast, where you come to heal your relationship trauma and learn to love deeply without losing yourself. Hello, love, and welcome back to the Love Clarity Podcast, where we name the patterns that keep you in pain so you can finally trust what you feel and choose what frees you. I'm Sanya Bari, relationship trauma therapist, coach, and someone who's lived through the emotional chaos that gets created of the almost love. Today's episode is about something many people whisper with guilt, but rarely say out loud. Are they really confused? Or are they just controlling me? Let's untangle the hot and cold, the mixed signals, and the emotional tug of war, because love doesn't need to come with whiplash. Layla sat on my couch after 2 years of emotional exhaustion. She said, it's like he can't decide if I'm the love of his life or if I'm a backup plan. He told her she was amazing, that she changed him, that no one's ever seen him like she has. But he also said, I'm not ready for commitment. I need time. I'm figuring things out. He'd disappear for days, then send long messages at midnight. He'd promise the future, then panic the moment she got clear on what she really wanted and took a stance. Suddenly, the clarity would just come in. Every time she pulled away, he'd reel her back in with apologies, with vulnerabilities, with tears. Tears that she believed. Because it looked like that he was just confused. But what it felt like was control. I remember being there as well. Being in the kind of love that keeps you in that limbo, in that purgatory, where their inconsistencies become your anxiety. I used to think, maybe they're just scared. Maybe they're just healing at the moment. I can be patient. I can be patient when they heal. And if I am, that's how it's going to work. Maybe that's how it's supposed to be. Maybe that you're supposed to work it out with other people. The truth was that I was shrinking myself into their uncertainty, making space for their fog, while becoming foggy myself, abandoning my own clarity because of their confusion. I remember one day waking up and realizing that those shows that I make fun of, that are the Bachelor shows, where I find it to be very demeaning, entertaining maybe, like in a train wreck kind of a way, but certainly very demeaning that all of these gorgeous women are falling over themselves, waiting for that rose. And I woke up to a day and I noticed I was waiting to be picked for that invisible rose that I didn't even see, that I didn't know I would see. And that moment was a moment that I started speaking my truth to myself, because I could not recognize myself. I said to myself that there was no way in the world that I could have predicted that I would come to a place where I would wait around to see if I'm going to be picked. When I did say my truth, they called me being too much, too demanding, too dramatic, boring, because now I was doing something real. But I wasn't any of those things. It hurt. But I had to tell myself that I wasn't any of those things because I was being told something else. I was just finally asking for emotional honesty with myself and with him. And that emotional honesty, that desire and clarity for them to be clear or get out of the way was the threat. Here's the truth I want you to sit with. Confusion isn't always innocent. Sometimes it's a tactic. I'm not saying that these people whom we are in relationship with have some books that they read, they go to a school to do this to you, and they're sitting around charting graphs and making plans. They're not doing any of that. But they can't give you what they don't have. If they were clear about you, then that's what it would look like. And if they're not clear about you, then you can be the one to show up and be clear about you. The only reason it hurts that they're not clear about you is because you at that moment, me at that moment, I was not clear about myself either. You are not clear about yourself either. It's one thing to say that they were unsure about me. It's an entirely different thing to say I myself am unsure about me. And how in the world then am I going to face myself saying that they're doing this to me when I'm doing that to myself as well? Sometimes it is a tactic. It's a tactic that they are not planning. It's a tactic to protect themselves. Sometimes accidentally they're protecting us from themselves. And it's important to see that and to know it and to take advantage of that and to step into that. Sometimes that delay tactic, that breadcrumbing is just a shield. Using that delay strategy to keep you emotionally invested, emotionally reeled in, without requiring them to show up. When someone truly doesn't know what they want, they take space without pulling you into their chaos. But when someone says that they're confused and they still keep taking from you, they still keep you reeled in, they're still taking your time, your energy, your body, your hope, that's not confusion. That's emotional leverage. And the proof that every time you're going to get clear, you're going to see the proof that they're going to suddenly figure it out, only to drift again once you've softened, once you've believed them. That's not love. That's power disguising as vulnerability. Again, these people are not doing it on purpose. This is all they have to give you. And you want to decide whether I want that or not. I definitely do not want you to leave this conversation without this very, very minute clarity that I have given you. That if there is somebody who is still thinking, who still needs some time and needs some space to figure it out, you're going to separate that type of person who just is saying, hey, I need to figure it out, from the person who is, in a way manipulating you for their own purposes, by knowing that the person who truly, truly wants to figure it out and wants to take some space, and you want people to be like, hey, if you make a decision about me, don't be unsure because I'm precious and I don't want you to decide something that you don't really believe. But if it is truly that they're taking a decision to decide that, they're not going to pull you into their chaos. They're not going to keep taking from you your time, your energy, your body, your hope. And if you are offering it to them, it is time for you to start giving to yourself that which you want to get from them. It's time for you to start treating yourself the way you want them to treat you. For years, I complained about people treating me not the way I wanted, not with the honor, respect, and regard and priority that I wanted, only to realize that for years I have been teaching them to treat me that way because that is how I would treat myself. I said something else, but the way I behaved with myself, the way I reacted to some of the things that they did to me was that I will always put myself aside for you. And when they put me aside from them, I would get offended. So you want to be the person who treats yourself the way you want others to treat you. Now take a breath, take a deep inhale, allowing that breath to take you to that deeper part of yourself where your inner counselor lives, where everything is complete, where your truest answers come for you, and ask yourself questions. Consult with yourself, consent with yourself. Asking questions leads you to your truth. Ask, for example, am I constantly adjusting to their uncertainty while forgetting what I want? Am I working to make it just easy for them to be with me? Do I feel like I'm always one emotional breadcrumb away from some type of a breakthrough that never happens? Is there confusion costing me my clarity, my trust, my peace? A lot of times when people are going through this, they'll say, all I want is I want peace of heart, peace of mind, because there's chaos when you have a relationship like that. And I'm going to tell you that there is an enabling and a response or a dance that, for example, somebody in my position could do when somebody's doing this for me, which is to live into what I know is right for me. Now, love may take work. It may require grace, but it never thrives inside manipulation. And you want to be able to pick that up. You want to be honest with yourself. And if you can't be honest with yourself, like I had a hard time being honest with myself, then you're always going to have people who are not honest with you. And that really, really hurts. And it's very confusing and it wastes a lot of your time and energy. You don't need to be more patient. You don't need to become smaller so others don't feel insecure around you. You don't need to stop mistaking that emotional chaos that you're feeling for emotional depth. That emotional chaos is not emotional depth. If this episode is something that cracks something open in you, then what you're feeling right now is not weakness. That's wisdom. That's clarity. That's honesty inside you. In the Love Clarity Inner Circle, we create space for that version of you who no longer wants to live in limbo, in the purgatory, who wants peace of heart, of mind, stability, and safety without chasing, on their own, at will. Or you can meet me back here next week for your weekly dose of clarity and calm. And until then, so much love from me to you, from my heart to yours. I'm Sanya Bari. I can't wait to see you again